Hello again and welcome to Art Fennell Reports. I'm Art Fennell. Tonight we again explore the world of social media, which is continuing to evolve at warp speed. The social media train is proving to be so beneficial to people all around the country and around the world. It's helping us to keep a finger on the ever-changing pulse of society. In fact, so much is happening so fast that it's pretty difficult to keep track of it all with all the changes and the new things now available to enlighten your world. Now, to give you a better idea, a better example of the social media continuing trends, really, you don't have to go very far back, no more really than, say, 2 years ago. Back then, Twitter was not even close to being a household name, and Facebook was still just a baby. Now, are you ready for this? Facebook has surpassed 750 million people and still growing. And the social media boom continues to spawn new emerging web companies too, like Pinterest. Have you heard of that? Originally, it was created for brides-to-be and web surfers looking to get organized. But now, correspondent Lisa Sylvester reports with more on Pinterest and how it's becoming fast part of the political world.
That's really cute. Oh, I like that.
Think of Pinterest as an online bulletin board, a place where you can pin cool pictures and images. It can be organized by categories. It's particularly popular among women.
Girls like to read fashion magazines and kind of fold in the pages of things that they like. And this just provides it on a website, and it's a lot easier to navigate.
There are more than 11 million active users a month, according to the website. Like Twitter or Facebook, Pinterest users can build a following. But it differs from those social media sites in that content isn't fleeting. It stays put. One segment of the government leveraging Pinterest, the Pentagon. The Army Pinterest board, for example, shows family life in the military, boot camp pictures, and historical images.
We want to connect America with its Army and to tell the Army story in whatever way that we can. We think that Pinterest is a great way to do that.
Pinterest is also appearing on the political horizon. Ann Romney, wife of GOP presidential candidate Mitt Romney, launched her Pinterest board this week. Her likes range from a recipe for pistachio cake to a love note Mitt Romney left for her when he had just missed her at a campaign stop.
It's very clear she's trying to be personal and convey emotion and be very real and to some degree real time with that. And that's, endearing, right? And I think with the kind of user base that Pinterest has right now at this moment, this kind of material is particularly appealing.
But Pinterest goes both ways. The liberal group Think Progress has several boards called the luxury hotels and private jets of the Romney campaign.
Thing you like, dislike.
Tech writer Charlie Warzel criticizes Pinterest, arguing it's a dwindling down of the long-form content, from a full-length article to a shorter blog post to a 140-character tweet to finally just a picture.
Pinterest to me almost feels like the end of the line here, where it's, there's almost no original content. You just click a button and you share someone else's photo.
The site's popularity has exploded. The number of users has increased 145% since the start of this year.
In terms of internet traffic, Pinterest ranks 17th in the United States. That is more popular than the websites of the New York Times, PayPal, Netflix, and ESPN.com, among others. Lisa Sylvester, Washington.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Joining me now on the program to talk more about the social media realm are three experts in this subject matter. Rhonda Circus is here. She is the president and CEO of Help Me Rhonda, which is a multi-platform company specializing in social media, interactive marketing, branding, analytics, and design. David Anderson is also here, director of social media for Clear Channel. Very important position there. And finally, Marisol Maldonado is here, president and CEO of Social Sola, a marketing and social media branding company that helps individuals and businesses to create an identity of their own on the internet. Thanks to all of you for being here. By the way, let's just get this out of the way right now. You guys are social media experts and you don't travel anywhere, I mean anywhere, without your trade, your tool of the trade. Please hold up your phones here and now.
Yes.
Usually we don't have guests to come on the set with their phones, but that's part of what you do. And by the way, you're all using, what is that, the iPhone?
4S. The 4S.
So is that the new standard for what you do? The 4S.
It is, and it helps keep us organized too, because we have Siri assistant there to help us along.
All right. Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Let's start with Pinterest that we were just seeing in that report. Now, and I'll be honest with you, I hadn't heard very much about Pinterest at all, so I was taking notes as that report was airing. David, your thoughts on Pinterest?
I think Pinterest is phenomenal when it comes to allowing women to have their own social media space and get organized. I became recently engaged, and instead of my fiance sending a whole bunch of prospective bridesmaid dresses via email, she just puts it up on Pinterest, and everybody gets it and they love it. It's been used for everything, including and not limited to parties, wedding plans, having the ability to put up your wish list. If kids want things for Christmas, it has 1,000,001 uses. And it's super friendly and super easy.
Well, here's what throws me, though. You just talked about bridesmaids and wedding parties and so forth. And in the report from Lisa Sylvester, Marisol, that they talked about Mitt Romney's love notes and recipes for cakes. Why do I care about that? Somebody like me, why should Pinterest interest me?
Well, I think that everyone has their, I mean, you have your favorite recipe. We all have our favorite things to share in our personal lives. So it's good to kind of be able to relate to these individuals in that way. So I think that's why it's important for them to say, hey, you know, these are the things I really like in my personal life. And
Rhonda, basically, this is help me, Rhonda.
Yeah, I'll help you anytime,
help me, Rhonda. This is a pin board, so to speak. Basically, you just put up a picture of something.
Yes, you pin it. You can pin it from a website, or you can repin from other people's pin boards. And what's so great about Pinterest, it's beautiful. It's very graphic, and that's why I think people are leaning toward this, because it becomes a beautiful piece of art.
Beautiful images. Now, is this the one where you have to be invited to become a member? You don't just sign up to be in the Pinterest family?
Yes, and that's what's so amazing about it. It's growing so rapidly, and you still need an invite from someone or from Pinterest to join.
I saw the U.S. Army is using this, obviously. We see it's being used by the political candidates, and Lisa Sylvester said that it has increased in popularity some 145%. Now, that's something that you can't just throw away. No. That is phenomenal growth here, David. Do you see this becoming the new hot thing, hotter than it is even now?
I think it's one of those things that is so inclusive. It takes all of the fear out of it. It opens up to different demographics that weren't necessarily using social media before, because anybody, even my mother, can take a picture and put it up. It makes it simple. It really makes the guesswork go away. And so for that alone, it's going to explode. Now, the interesting thing is, if you look at other previous big social media networks, with the exception of Twitter, Facebook, you had to have an invite. When Gmail launched from Google, you had to have an invite, and then it just blew from there. So you have to take in consideration there is a blueprint in place in order for Pinterest to be next, and it has the advantage of simplicity, which I love.
Well, one of the things that I enjoy, I take photos, and people tell me they enjoy looking at some of my photography. This might be something where I could post pictures and have people to look at it and whatever they would do with them. Is that right?
Right. And I guess that's why they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Too.
Yeah, and 1,000 Pinterest. Facebook. We've talked about Facebook many times on this, because again, you've heard the numbers of how it continues to grow, and no doubt anyone who's watching me now, you're probably on Facebook. But this new timeline has just come out, and it changes the old Facebook look. Marisol, your opinions on the new look of Facebook with this new timeline? Some people say they don't particularly care for it.
I like it. I mean, right now, you know, you get to choose this really bright picture in the background. It's more visually pleasing, and with the world of Pinterest that we were just talking about, and everybody looking at these pictures on Pinterest, and it just lends to Facebook to have that format.
It seems to me, you guys can chime in here, that it's a little bit more difficult to navigate than, say, the old original way that Facebook used to be.
I think it's because you're not used to it. Once I've spent like countless hours right now learning about it, and now that I understand it better, it's going to be so much better. You're going to be able to engage with people more. you're going to be able to create your story. And that's what they want. They want you to create your story. You're going to be able to hide things. You're going to be able to move things around.
So it's more expansive.
It is, and it's going to be
now.
more visual again. It's almost going to look like a Pinterest.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think the web's turning into. It looks like it's becoming more graphic.
You want to keep things very, very simple. And the one thing that Facebook has been very innovative in doing is staying ahead of what the trends are. Facebook has probably changed its look at least 6 or 7 times since 2005. And because of that, they set the standard. In other words, some social media adjust to what people want, but people adjust to what Facebook dictates. And that's a very powerful position to have. And that's why Facebook will always be, at least for the foreseeable future, and when I say that, I mean 2-3 years, at the top of the social media hierarchy.
Well, you guys are each, this is your business. It's what you do. And we've had conversations before where some people were coming along very slowly into the Facebook realm. Some, I still know a couple of dinosaurs out there, you know who you are, that still aren't there. Just say, I'm not getting on Facebook, because they see it as a plaything. You know, it's something to go on and tell people your business or spy on other people's businesses. But when it comes to business, you say this is real in that regard, don't you?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it gives you some additional exposure to individuals that you wouldn't have had exposure to.
But what about in terms of marketing and helping companies to utilize Facebook?
Well, this is what I do. Aside from, I just recently retired from Clear Channel, but aside from helping people as a motivational speaker, I spend my time and make my money changing businesses with social media. You have to go where the people are. If you look at any form of media, they all have a Facebook, a Twitter, a LinkedIn, because that's where the people are. It's not just about ratings and revenue, it's about driving the traffic and meeting people where they are. If you want to find the masses, flyers don't work anymore. A phone call doesn't work anymore. Email lists are on their way out, and so you have to adjust with the times. That's why these fan pages are hot. That's why these groups are hot. Facebook is where you need to go, because you have a captive audience that isn't going to leave or turn off.
You say what, Rhonda?
And what I say is that it's true. You have to go where the consumer is, and the consumer is driving the message. They obviously will like this and they want it. And as more and more people start understanding this and start utilizing it, it's just exploding.
But there are no ads on there. How do they get it that they can make money from Facebook?
Oh, there are ads.
There are ads.
But see, that's what's beautiful about Facebook. The ads look like any other post for the most part.
They do.
They're in the margin. They're right there. They're not intrusive. They're not all in your face, and there's no annoying pop-ups. Facebook has made the advertising game so easy and simple. Just a couple of cents will get you plenty of hits. And so it's worth it for someone who wants to be successful in business to be able to utilize a captive audience, right down to what they eat, their race, their height,
their age. I mean, you can just, the whole demographics, where they are located, you can just target those ads.
Yeah.
And they're just over there on the right hand
And companies, what do you advise companies to do when they're setting up their Facebook page? Is there a different category for how they can set up a company page versus an individual page, or what's the best way to do that?
I just think that Facebook alone, I usually recommend companies to use Hootsuite. And so they get involved in different, Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and make sure that they're communicating through Hootsuite, because that'll give them, if they put a link there to their website, that'll give them how many hits, are coming. Are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming from Twitter? And it'll give them the analytics for them to be able to follow.
Okay, well, as you can see, folks, this is real stuff. And again, in many cases, I'm speaking to the masses here because you already know, you already get it. But this is an opportunity to get deeper into your social media experience and maximize it for whatever it is that you do, whether it be for your business, for your company, for yourself. So that's what we're talking about today, and I've got 3 very good guests on this matter. We're going to take our first break here. When we come back, we're going to talk more about social media. We're going to also talk about Google+, Empire Avenue, which I know absolutely nothing about. And they're going to give me their top 5 social media apps. Now this, you need to get your pen and paper ready for it. There's Brian Aiken right there. That's my producer here on Art Fennell Reports. We'll be right back.